Universal's Harry Potter World is one of the most popular theme park areas of all time. And there's a lot to do here, maybe even more than you think.
We are going to spend the perfect day in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. We're gonna do the rides, we're gonna see the shows, we're gonna do some shopping, have some food, and even more.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
I'm going to ride Hagrid's. Bye. Oh. All right, we are headed to Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. This is one of the most popular rides in all of Universal, but certainly the most popular ride in Harry Potter World. So we're headed in right now. It is early entry. You get early entry at Universal as a hotel guest and with the 2 highest levels of annual pass. We're gonna be showing you a little bit about strategy for early entry like we are right now, and without early entry, so you get a sense of both. But if you have early entry, it's certainly part of a perfect day to use that early entry. Wait time is listed as 45 minutes. Hopefully it'll be a little shorter than that, but we will certainly see. You can see we're starting the line all the way back outside of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. We're starting it back in the Poseidon's Fury Theater. And we'll be heading through into Harry Potter World when they open the attractions queue, which it may already be open. The line is moving, but we will certainly see. All right, we have entered the official queue. What time is it? 8:36. So we've been in line for about a little over 20 minutes and to get just into the official queue, but the line is certainly moving. It is now a posted 140-minute wait. So if you don't have early entry, Hagrid's gonna shoot up by the time you get here. The park is not open to regular guests yet. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure is a story coaster that takes you all around sort of the outskirts of the Hogwarts grounds into the Forbidden Forest. You see Hagrid and you are on a motorbike, which is really super cool. You're in a motorbike in a sidecar. You can like hold on to the handlebars. It is an incredibly fun roller coaster. Not the fastest or the most thrilling technically, but there are a couple of surprises and it does feel like it goes very, very fast. So it's definitely maybe my favorite outdoor, it's gotta be my favorite outdoor coaster ever.
It is just so exciting. Like I whoop and holler.
Yeah, you just like laugh and have fun. It's such a blast. All right, it's now 8:47. We are headed indoors in the Hagrid's queue. I'm excited. This is the best way to start the day.
This is the best way to start the day, especially if it's your best day here.
Especially then. In the first little cave room you enter, there's a really cute heart written on the wall that says J and L in it for James and Lily Potter, of
Very
course.
hard to see, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yep,
I do have my flashlight on.
It's on this wall, like the opposite wall from the doors. We've made it to the final room, and this room is fun because the ceiling is interactive. You can actually see the magical motorbikes driving around up there. What time is it, Emma?
It's been 1 hour exactly.
It's been 1 hour exactly, so that's not so bad when the posted wait time is over 2 hours at this point. I don't know if it's going to be a pretty slam day today, but regardless, we are starting our day getting on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. We just got off Hagrid's. Where?
Up there.
Oh, right there. There we are.
That's hilarious.
Look at Emma's hands. Look how hard she was gripping the bike.
I just love it. I was so excited. And we talked about me pressing the button and then I forgot.
Yeah, because you were gripping the thing so hard. All right, we are off Hagrid's. The posted wait is now up to 105 minutes. It was 140 as we were getting on the ride. So I guess if you missed that first sort of burst into the day, you can wait a second and come and it'll drop a little bit. It's not quite 2 hours now, which is nice. But if you do not have early entry and you want to ride Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, a good time to ride it might be about 30 minutes after the park opens, once this initial die down has happened. This is still a long line, but Hagrid's does kind of spike up and stay long all day. We'll be keeping an eye on wait times throughout the day. 1, to see if we can maybe ride it again as part of our perfect day, and 2, to let you know when would be a good time for you to ride.
So now that we've been on Hagrid's, we are a little bit hungry. So we are gonna stop at the 3 Broomsticks for breakfast. This is where you can grab breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Breakfast is until 10:30, and it's based off of the restaurant that you can see in the books and the movies. It's traditional English fare, and this is one of my favorites because of this little sign over here that has Sirius Black. I just really enjoy this.
Is that Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Oh my gosh.
that?
This is just how I feel here.
Oh, okay. All right, we're in line. This is a restaurant with a long line, so if you do want to get a quicker breakfast, I highly, highly recommend heading over to Green Eggs and Ham in Seuss Landing. I really love the like loaded tots and the hash there. Even for breakfast, they have a Green Eggs and Ham's tots that are amazing. But we are, of course, having the best Harry Potter day ever, which means we're here at the Three Broomsticks. So we've been in line for a bit, but we're almost to the front, and we'll get to order our breakfast. It's about Three Broomsticks. You'll wait in line sort of off to the side over there, and then you come here, you let them know how many you have, and they'll send you to one of the ordering like registers. You order, get your receipt, and then you get in line at one of the food pickup stations. So it's relatively easy and just helps them to move through people a little faster. All right, so we got the traditional English breakfast here. They do have like an American breakfast. They have a continental, they have a pancake breakfast, but this is gonna be like your British style breakfast. You've got a croissant, scrambled eggs, beans. That's how you know it's British. I follow a girl on YouTube who's British, and she cries about beans sometimes. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
that has so much you energy.
well, I was gonna judge, but no, I cannot.
You would cry about beans.
I've cried over food plenty of times in my life.
You've also got breakfast potatoes, ham, and sausage, and then this is black pudding, aka blood sausage, which I've only ever had once, and it was at the Three Broomsticks when it first opened years and years and years ago. Emma has had it in London, so but
we'll see how it holds up.
It's called blood sausage for good reason, and I'll let you extrapolate. All right, I'm starting with the regular sausage. We're gonna save the blood sausage for the end, just in case. Sausage is my preferred breakfast meat of choice, so. That's like way better than I was expecting. It's not the right texture. Like it doesn't have the like snap of sausage that like I really like in a sausage link, but it is like peppery and like meaty and greasy in that really satisfying way. I like this a lot better than Disney World's breakfast sausage. I can say that for sure.
Because I'm so fascinated with them, I'm gonna try the baked beans, or the regular beans, I should say. They're actually pretty good. They're nice and savory. They're soft. They remind me a lot of just normal baked beans, because that's pretty much what they are.
Honestly, like a solid 10% of our viewers are from the UK, according to the YouTube analytics. So you guys and your beans. I understand.
Yeah, I really kind of get you right now. Like, I would eat this every day, and I'd be very happy with this.
I would for sure eat beans on toast.
Yeah.
All right, I'm trying the croissant with Heinz grape jelly. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a super flaky croissant. It's a big portion of croissant. Like, this is just one corner, and it's like a lot.
The tomato. Just a normal tomato. It's not very ripe. You can tell it's a little bit more watery. I would like to add some salt to it.
Ham. It's not like an overwhelmingly meaty flavor. Tastes like deli ham.
Potatoes. They're pretty good. It's the same potato that you get with the lunch or dinner options here.
All right, eggs. They taste pretty close to like the scrambled eggs that I make at home. We're gonna eat the blood sausage, but I'm stalling. 2 truths and a lie. Okay.
2 truths and a lie. I have met Miley Cyrus. I have met Michelle Obama. I have met Miranda Lambert.
You've definitely. She's from Tennessee.
Yeah, maybe that's why I do say that.
I think the lie is Miranda Lambert.
It's Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus is
I've
the
also met
lie.
Jay Leno. I'll toss him in every now and then.
These are all
These are all just completely random.
All right, Emma's gonna cut open the blood sausage, which for us here in America is a very unfamiliar thing because it is a sausage made of blood. But if you think about it, our sausage isn't made with stuff that's that much better than blood or different. There's probably blood in it. It kind of looks like chocolate cake. All right, blood sausage.
I like the taste. I don't like the texture. The flavor is really good though.
It's like a cornbready texture. Yeah, it has the texture of like cornbread, which is definitely interesting for like a sausage.
Rate it 1 to 10. 4. Oh, I was gonna give it a 5.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah. All right, so we finally finished up having breakfast, which I guess now became lunch because we sat and talked for a minute. But we are checking wait times, and it looks like Forbidden Journeys is pretty low, which is probably on par. But Quincy's gonna use the bathroom, and I'm gonna go check it out really quick. All right, here it is, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So if you haven't had a chance to check this one out, or maybe this is the first time you're hearing about it, this is the ride where you get to go inside Hogwarts and go through all of your favorite, most notable places from the Harry Potter books and the movies, and you get to see a lot of characters like Harry, Ron, Hermione, and you might even get to play some Quidditch and see Draco or maybe a few other evil villains. This one is really cool. It's a nice mix of practical and screen effects, but it can make a lot of people really motion sick, so kind of be aware of that one before you hop on this ride.
We are headed in now, and there is a posted 15-minute wait for this ride. Pro tip is that if it's 20 minutes or under, it is probably a walk-on. There's also a single rider available, which you can take. This ride is motion sickness inducing, so if you do feel the need to skip it, I still recommend walking through the queue. There is a chicken exit at the end, and you can just ask not to ride. But the queue does take you basically on a walking tour through Hogwarts, and it is probably my favorite part of the Wizarding World. So the cool thing also about this being a walk-on is you can, when you're outside, wander a little bit. This is supposed to be the greenhouses, as you can see with the vines. And if you look in this grate, you can see that there are mandrakes getting worked on. Which is very cool, and thank goodness they are in the pot because I did not bring my earmuffs. You would definitely faint.
Yeah,
it's a very, yeah. Gotta pull ahead of Gryffindor. You really need to work on your.
Listen, we aren't about winning, we're about supporting and being loyal and brave.
That's so sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, dead, aren't they? Ghosts? Sort of a requirement. They're muggles, Hermione, not more.
Said they were morons.
All right, sure enough, the motion sickness did strike, which it will on this ride. My trick is to go ahead and close your eyes whenever you see that the whole wall is a screen. That is what really helps me and helps keep me from getting too overly sick. Emma did get a little queasy, so she's going to run and grab a quick Sprite to help kind of settle her stomach, but not too shabby. Shouldn't mess with our perfect day at all. Plus, it gives me time to kind of wander around and shop, because everyone knows that a perfect part of a perfect day in Harry Potter world is to shop around. I actually got my mom this for Christmas, this blanket. I think some of the best merchandise in a theme park is in Harry Potter world. There's just a lot to see, and like a lot of really interesting ways that they've used the merchandise. Look at this Hogwarts letter ornament. It like actually goes in and out of the envelope. This shop in particular is where you'll exit as you come out of Harry Potter Forbidden Journey, as you come out of Hogwarts. It's kind of cold today. Do I need a Slytherin sweatshirt? $70. Maybe. My favorite part of all of the Harry Potter shops are the kind of more expensive merchandise, the prop replicas and things like that. Like the cup that Dumbledore drinks from. You've got the egg from the Triwizard Tournament, the locket. Slytherin's locket, that's so spooky. The Ravenclaw diadem. Wizard chest. I want wizard chest. This room is actually also one of the larger shopping locations, but there are a ton of shopping locations, so make sure to explore them all. We certainly will today as part of our perfect day to show you where they are, and it's a cool Slytherin pin. We are going to catch one of the very cool shows, but first, I think the show would be better if we had something to drink with it. Emma's had some Gilly water, which is wizarding water.
It's normal water.
It's Gilly water. So her stomach is settled, so we're going to go grab a beverage. Well, it's reaching the time that on vacation you can have alcohol, so come on. Let's go. And where better to grab a drink than at the Hog's Head? This is the pub here in Hogsmeade. It is from the movies. It's where Aberforth Dumbledore, Dumbledore's brother, works. Heavily featured in the books. My favorite part about this bar is that they do have exclusive beers, and the Hog's Head behind the counter does move. Now there's typically a line, and it can point either direction. So walk in and kind of look at where the line is, because there is typically a line. It's not usually able to just like walk up. Scurrying back to catch the show.
It was wonderful. Having a drink with it was really nice, and I feel very settled.
Yeah, I like that these shows are only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They feel very digestible. There's this one, and then over here there's also the Frog Choir, which we'll try to catch.
And I like that they are so short because it doesn't feel like you're losing a lot of your day.
No, and both shows are certainly worth seeing. So if you're walking by and one's happening, pause. Check it out. It's only 10 minutes.
All right, what'd you get?
I got the Hogshead Brew, which is one of the exclusive Wizarding World beers. This one is exclusive to Hogsmeade, so you cannot get this over in Diagon Alley. You only get it here in Hogsmeade. It's kind of a heavier, I would describe it as a brown ale. Heavier flavors, but not like as dark as like a Guinness.
This is wonderful. This is one of my favorite things. It is not necessarily specialty to the Wizarding World. It is essentially a Long Island iced tea, but they add like a raspberry syrup to it. And I asked her, what is the iced tea drink with raspberry? And she said, I got you. So if there's a name for it, I'm unaware.
I think she said full sentence like Long Island iced tea with raspberry Long Island iced tea.
It's basically all it is, and it's delicious.
And LIT is a hardcore drink.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like 5 times the liquor. So they call it a tea because it tastes like tea when you mix like tequila, vodka, rum, one other I think, and Coca-Cola.
I literally thought it was sweet tea with
all
just
morning,
like a little
all
sugar.
morning she was like, I love the sweet tea with raspberry that's like spiked.
I'm learning.
She's drinking an LIT.
I'm so confused.
All right, the other show is coming up pretty soon, so we're gonna do a little shopping so that we don't do something that's a huge time suck and miss it, because we certainly want to see it. There aren't that many shops on this side of the Wizarding World in Universal Islands of Adventure. Now this is the original side of the Wizarding World. Diagon Alley, which is the bigger, more expanded version of the Wizarding World over in Universal Studios, was opened much later. And it does have a lot more shopping that we will check out when we get over there this afternoon, but for now, we're headed to the Owl Post. All right, so if you look up in the owlery, you'll see some owls winking down at you. My favorite type of owl is a barred owl. What's your favorite type? Do you know any other types of owl? Screech, great horned, snowy.
I was gonna say hooded owl, but that's not.
I don't think that's a thing. So these are the new ones. So they've actually just recently released these in the past like month or so, right at the like end of 2022, beginning of 2023. And you can see that they are sorted by the wood. So these are the new like custom wands that you can get. That one looks like Hermione's, that laurel wand there. I definitely prefer the replica ones because they don't have the sensor on the top. But of course you cannot cast magic, which we will see a little later around the park with those. So I do actually have a mix of both. We strolled up a little late, but just in time to catch the Frog Choir. This is an a cappella performance, or a semi-a cappella performance, where the frogs do sing themselves as well. And they're extremely talented vocalists. This is my favorite show in Hogsmeade, so I highly recommend stopping to give it a watch. Now, one thing that could be a part of your perfect day is a visit to Ollivanders. There is an Ollivanders location in both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. This is where you can see the show where a wand chooses a wizard. One person is chosen from the audience. Last time we were here, it was Emma, and that person, a wand chooses them. They get to see which wand is right for them. It's a very, very cool show. Certainly a must-do on your first visit to the Wizarding World, and you can do it in either Hogsmeade or Diagon Alley. So even if you're only headed to one park during your day, you can do it in that park. Midday, it looks like we're hitting about a 75-minute wait for Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, which is less than we waited doing that early entry rope drop. But if you weren't coming in with early entry, waiting a little bit into the day for the line to settle down a bit could be a good decision. There also is a single rider line for Hagrid's, just like there is at the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. And I will say it moves relatively slowly, but there aren't a lot of people in it typically, so you can get on a little quicker if you take that single rider's line. Now, we certainly cannot leave Hogsmeade on a perfect day without going to Honeyduke's, the iconic candy shop from the Harry Potter books and movies. It's very cool in here, and there's lots of very, very, very cool Harry Potter candy. More magic happening over here. One thing we're okay with maybe making our perfect day worse. Snot-flavored jelly beans.
Do we have to eat the snot?
Well, obviously we're gonna try to pick out the grossest ones for each other. We got in every flavor of Birdie Bot's every flavor beans. These are jelly beans that have normal flavors like, you know, fruit, and then also flavors like booger or vomit. And we're gonna eat them on camera for your enjoyment. We also got a pumpkin pasty, which is something that I've never had. And this is like, I mean, it's a very famous treat that Harry eats all the times in the books. In the movies, it's a pumpkin pastry, and it looks very tasty, so.
We're very excited. All right, Quincy is going to attempt to tear this. And, okay. We've done worse.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'll take that. Starting first with our pumpkin pasty. Cheers. It's heavy on the pastry. There's not as much filling, I think, as I would have preferred.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like a pumpkin pie filling.
It's definitely pumpkin pie filling.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like, kind of tastes like store-bought canned pumpkin pie filling. Not that I'm complaining about that, because that stuff's delicious.
Yeah, I mean it in a good way.
I think if you like pumpkin pie, you'll like this. I think that this is one of those things that like is very iconic from the books that you don't see as much in the movie that Harry Potter fans should probably give a try at least once. So the Birdie Bots boxes do come with a little guide to what you're eating, and you can see there's certainly some flavors on here that you might not recognize, like soap, sausage. You can get these on like Amazon as well. You don't have to get them in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is pretty cool. But I think it's pretty magical to eat really gross jelly beans sitting in the Wizarding World. All right, we're picking jelly beans out for each other.
Okay. I don't want to be biased, so I'm closing my eyes.
Oh, you're closing your eyes? I'm gonna be biased.
Oh, I think I gave
that
you a
looks
good.
One. It was a good one.
Yeah.
They were really good.
Candy floss,
It
right?
was really good, yeah. Don't tell her, but I found a gross one.
I'm right here. Okay. Oh, what is this? Oh my lord!
I picked out rotten egg.
Oh my gosh! I need a good one. Oh.
Oh, I thought that was sour apple and it was grass.
Earwax.
Oh, I don't want to eat that.
You made me eat a rotten egg.
Okay, probably earwax.
Ugh. Earwax?
Marshmallow.
Dang it.
Emma has handed me 2 identical jelly beans. They could both be lemon, or they could both be what? Rotten egg?
Yeah, sherbet lemon or rotten egg.
Both lemon.
Are you lying?
No.
You have
Let
to
me
be
mix
lying.
that out for you. You'll like this one.
Are you lying?
No. Sausage. Alright, she's giving me one and she said, she didn't tell me what it is, but she said I had to eat it on camera. Oh my vomit.
Yeah, fully is vomit. I just needed something, you know?
That was horrible. I'm now eating 2 sour apple ones to try to get that out of my mouth. It tastes like straight vomit. And I was like, this is fine. I can handle it. And then I bit into it again and it got worse.
Ew.
So now Emma's gonna eat it.
We're next to grass, in case you're curious.
So as you can see, Birdie Bots are a really great like line activity. You can grab a box of Birdie Bots and have them in line all day and kind of like mess with your family, and then take them home. I just think that they're like a really unique kind of extra experience, and I think part of our perfect day, although maybe not the vomit one or the soap one.
I don't know that I would do it again unless it was for funsies.
I'm gonna make Emma do this every time we come here together. One thing you can always expect in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is crowds. Even on the slower days, like today is a relatively slow day at Universal, there are crowds in the Wizarding World. It's just a very, very, very popular land. It's the reason a lot of people come to Universal, so you're gonna see crowds. Still, wait times haven't been too shabby today. Hagrid's is still at 75 minutes, but Forbidden Journey is set around 25. We're headed to our final attraction on this side, which is gonna be Flight of the Hippogriff. Flight of the Hippogriff is a little bit of a kid's coaster. It's very short, but it is relatively high up, so it's not great if you have a fear of heights. Like Emma gets a little skeeved out on it. My favorite part about the ride is that there is a very realistic, very cool Buckbeak animatronic, the Hippogriff from Harry Potter, and you can see him right before the lift hill. And that is my favorite part of the ride, and the reason I try to make it part of any perfect day. All right, Flight of the Hippogriff. Emma, you ready?
This is it.
You're scared of heights. Are you gonna be okay?
I was gonna say, I'm a little scared of heights, but this one is still technically a kiddie ride.
Yeah, so you should be okay.
Is forbidden to all students. Beware, the forest in the grounds is forbidden to all students.
Come back
That
over.
lives in the forest.
Did you get scared?
I was a little spooked, but it was okay.
Whenever Emma gets to the top of the lift hill on that ride, it's like she remembers that it's high up.
It just doesn't look that bad, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, and it just jars me.
So for those who don't know, Emma is afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of heights. That is not a must-do coaster in my opinion. I think the Buckbeak animatronic is very cool, but if you're not super into animatronics or you've seen it in our videos or both, you could maybe skip it. Little kids do love it. It's definitely a thrilling coaster.
It's very cute, especially for younger kiddos, but that's the only reason I would really go out of my way for this one.
And listen, sometimes you're having a perfect day or doing everything in Harry Potter world and you gotta ride it.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, we've seen pretty much everything in Hogsmeade. So we're gonna go ahead and take the Hogwarts Express, yes, the real Hogwarts Express, from Hogsmeade over to Diagon Alley. This is interesting because we will be going between two parks, which means to ride the Hogwarts Express attraction, you do have to have admission to both Universal Lines of Adventure and Universal Studios. You have to have that park hopping ticket. If you don't, you will not be able to ride the Hogwarts Express. A little bit of a trick there to make sure that you grab that 2-park ticket. But I think if you're a big Harry Potter fan, it's certainly worth it to feel the magic of the train pulling up, to feel the magic of being on platform 9 3/4, and to ride the Hogwarts Express. All right, before we get to the train though, we're gonna grab a little libation for the ride because fun fact, you can actually bring a beverage on the Hogwarts Express.
This is my favorite thing to do and tell people to do. Get a Butterbeer, Hogwarts Express.
Butterbeer, of course, is the iconic Harry Potter world beverage, iconic from the Harry Potter books and movies. They have it in frozen, hot, and cold. My personal favorite is cold. Frozen tends to be the most popular, and I think hot is pretty tasty as well and very unique. And definitely great for those colder evenings like it will be tonight. That man just climbed in there. How's your Butterbeer?
Delicious, as always.
Yeah, you a Frozen fan?
Hana and Elsa are my favorites.
I mean, they're my favorites too, but I prefer a cold Butterbeer over Frozen.
The conversation was lost almost immediately. Cheers!
So the Hogwarts Express has 2 ride entrances, one in each park. The one in this park in Islands of Adventure is the Hogsmeade station, and the other park is the London King's Cross station. This can get a pretty long line towards the afternoon, which as you can see right now, it's actually got a 45-minute wait, which isn't short, but we've got Butterbeer. So it'll be okay. You do need that park ticket to go between parks, and they actually do have a window if you would like to purchase or upgrade your ticket to be able to get into the other park. The ride experience is different each direction. I actually prefer this direction, but most people do prefer going from King's Cross to Hogsmeade since it does sort of tell the actual story that happens in the Harry Potter books, as you see more often is coming from King's Cross to Hogsmeade. But I really like getting to see Fred and George, and you get to see them going the opposite direction.
Okay, so she's here. We are hopping on board, and we only waited about 30 minutes, which isn't too bad.
What the?
We made it. We are now in London, which is how you get to Diagon Alley. But we're hungry. I know that we just had sweets kind of recently, but we haven't had anything substantial in a while. And one thing I know about London, potatoes. So the Universal Studios side of Harry Potter World actually starts before you think it would. It starts here in London, which is just the streets of London with a couple touches. Now beyond just that pretty inconspicuous nod to the leaky cauldron, there are a couple other touches through here too, including the night bus, where you can talk to the night bus driver, and the shrunken head, or night bus attendant. Does the shrunken head drive? No, Ernie drives. And behind me, you'll notice that one of these row houses looks a little different than the others, and there might be a familiar face in the window of Creature the house elf. And that's because this is, of course, 12 Grimmauld Place, aka the Black Residence in Harry Potter. And nearby, there's this pretty inconspicuous little stand. They do have loaded jacket potatoes here, which are delicious. They're basically loaded potatoes. They are so killer. We each got a different one. I got the broccoli and cheese loaded potato, which is this potato is huge. Do you see this absolute unit?
Massive.
Like yours is obviously, yours looks more normal. Mine, like, what's going on with this potato? And then Emma got the
shepherd's pie baked potato.
Yeah. Which
shepherd's
is
pie filling and a baked potato with cheese.
Pretty much iconic. We're sitting here on the gates of London with everyone's favorite London view. Krusty Land, Simpsons Land. Potato time.
Krusty Land, Krusty Land.
No, we're having a perfect Harry Potter day.
Okay.
Right. Good.
I'm very excited about this. I have wanted the shepherd's pie one for so long, and every time I'm here...
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me.
No, you're fine. Every time I'm here, though, it is sold out, so I've always gotten the other two. This is my dream. Shepherd's pie and chicken pot pie, I know they're not the same, but they're very similar dishes. One of my favorites. I absolutely love this. The vegetables in this are actually surprisingly really, I don't know if they're necessarily fresh, but they're really good, flavorful. And then the meat has a nice flavoring on it, mixed with the melted cheese. This is heaven for me.
For me, the broccoli's a little bit, like, just slightly undercooked, so it's a little, like, crunchy. But that's actually, it's not that, like, it's fine. The cheese gets really melty in the potato. The potatoes are super warm. And these are just, like, really hearty. Like, this is frankly a meal. I have shared these before. And I know you're thinking, like, hot potato? That doesn't read Florida theme parks. Yes, it does. It's actually kind of on the chilly side today, so we've been happy with our potatoes, but I have come to Universal exclusively for the reason of getting this potato and getting ice cream, which we will do later. So, you know, you can't knock it till you try it. It is kind of basic. There's a lot of other more exciting theme park food, but when it comes to the Wizarding World savory food, delicious. These are delicious. Hi, how are you?
Hey, you know, just hanging around.
Just hanging around. It's very good.
Hey, what's your names, ladies?
I'm Quincy, that's Emma.
Quincy and Emma?
Yeah.
Now, Quincy, I
Yes.
see the way you're looking at me, but I got bad news.
What?
I'm already taken. Yeah,
Well,
as
let's
you
go.
As you can see, I'm taken from the neck down.
Oh, yeah. Well, we wanted to ask, we're thinking about being night bus attendants and wanted to know how the application process works.
Okay, we can do it right now. Here
Oh,
we go.
okay.
Okay, so how are you with standing in front of a bus and doing absolutely nothing?
Super good.
Yeah, you're hired. You're hired. All right, give her your hat.
Wow.
You start tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna.
All right. He'll have hot hair.
Now,
He's gotta keep his eye.
miss, I don't know if you want to work for the night bus.
Why?
The night bus comes with a lot of baggage.
It's pretty good. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
My shift.
Yeah, right. Hey, we start at 4:30 a.m. Come on up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Okay. Sure. Did you like meeting the night bus people?
We just got jobs.
We just got jobs. Bye, AllEars. All right, we are headed into this, like, inconspicuous brick tunnel. That's just a totally normal brick tunnel.
Yeah.
Why am I even filming, honestly? Oh my goodness. It's not a normal tunnel at all. The wall opened right up, and now we're in Diagon Alley. Blessed, right with our arrival back in the Wizarding World. Well, we were in the Wizarding World in London, but we're in the Wizarding World with Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees. This is one of the shows on this side, which features Celestina, aka Molly Weasley's favorite artist, as well as her backup singers and dancers, the Banshees. They're incredibly talented, and they sing some hits of the Wizarding World, including Someone Stole My Cauldron, which is what she's singing right now, and is my absolute favorite. And you can certainly cast magic over here in Diagon Alley as well. In fact, there are, I would say, more opportunities to cast magic in Diagon Alley. My favorite one is right over here, Bowman E. Wright's Blacksmith, which you can find right by the hopping pot. And this one is pretty darn cool. To cast magic, you want to look in the ground for these little gold symbols and just point your wand in the direction that they say, and cast the spell on them by saying the spell and doing the motion. So this one is Aguamenti, and it does make water spell from this little frog, and nowhere else, I promise. Now, not only are we ending our day in Diagon Alley because this park does actually stay open an hour later than the other park, and this just means we won't have to go back and forth as many times because we did everything over there in the morning, we're doing everything over here in the afternoon and the evening. But also, I greatly prefer Diagon Alley at night. I don't know how you feel.
Honestly, I normally start here and then end in Hogsmeade, so this will be kind of a new experiment for me.
Well, Hogsmeade does have the projection show on the castle at some times during the year, but this is not one of them, so that can happen around Halloween, around Christmas, and they typically have one in the spring or summer. You can check out the Universal app and the Universal website to see if there is an active show. Whereas Diagon Alley does not have any nighttime shows, which means there is more reason to go over to Hogsmeade typically in the evening, but not when we're here in the earliest part of the year. Gringotts right now has a bit of a long wait. It's got a 16-minute wait. We're gonna try to catch it before the other park closes, but once it goes down a touch. It also has a single rider line, so if your party is full of adults or bigger kids and you're able to split up, that single rider line can move a lot faster for this ride and the other Harry Potter rides. Weasley's Wizard Wheezes is probably the most eye-catching store here in Diagon Alley because it's got this giant... Is it supposed to be Fred and George, or were they just like Fred or George, or were they just like, it can be both?
Weasley.
It can be both of us.
Yeah.
We look the same. Weasley's Wizard Wheezes is a prank store. It's a joke shop in Harry Potter, and in here it is no different. It's a toy store and a prank store. You can even see Fred and George's fireworks through the ceiling, which I absolutely love. Fred and George are some of my favorite characters in Harry Potter, specifically Fred, but I love George as well. And getting to come into their store in real life was a dream come true the first time and remains magical every time after. You'll find a lot of like Weasley's Wizard Wheezes specific merchandise, like this pretty cool t-shirt, as well as the Weasley's like trick sweets like fainting fancies or puking pastels. You can get a Pygmy Puff here if you want a little pet. And if you do get a Pygmy Puff, they do announce to the whole store and let you name it, and then they announce to the whole store what you named your Pygmy Puff.
I'm gonna name one Quincy.
Oh, wow.
I just want to get to the screen your name because you'll get embarrassed.
I will get embarrassed, but that's sweet still. Right next door, you have quality Quidditch supplies. This store is going to be apparel based, but you've also got a lot of Quidditch nods in the decor. There's this Chudley Cannons poster that is, of course, enchanted on the wall, so it does move. I thought this was a person.
Did we really?
Excuse us, sir.
Pardon me.
Pardon us, sir. And Diagon Alley has their own sweet shop as well. They've also got the pumpkin pasties we've had, all the other sweets that you saw. This is Sugar Plum's sweet shop. So less iconic than Honeydukes, but it's pretty great because that means that if you are only coming to Universal Studios, you're only coming to the Diagon Alley side, you can still come and get Wizarding Sweets. All right. It's like I've caught you doing something wrong, but you're just standing.
It just scares me because I never know what you're going to say when you don't say anything before you film, and then it just is like, okay.
Hurry, jump! We're mid-shopping. I went ahead into Globus Mundi, which is one of my favorite stores in Diagon Alley. However, there is literally no line at the hopping pot.
Oh, you can't pass up that opportunity.
You cannot pass that up. This location will get a very, very, very long line. It usually kind of stretches along the side of the building here, and there's no line right now. Hopping Pot is another bar location, so this is another place that you're going to find beers. You can get fire whiskey here. They have hand pies, which makes Emma very excited because
They're good hand pies.
She's really weirdly obsessive about hand pies.
I really appreciate a savory snack that you can carry. There's very few if you really think about it.
They have a pear cider and a couple of the other non-alcoholic specialty drinks, like the tongue-tying lemon squash, which is my favorite of the specialty drinks outside of Butterbeer. But I think we're gonna grab another beverage. All right, I went with the Wizard's Brew, which is the specialty beer you can only get in Diagon Alley. And Emma, she got a pumpkin juice, which is non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic, but one of my favorites, my favorite tip about this is get it on draft. Don't get it in the bottle.
They have it on draft at the restaurants and also at many of the bars, most of the bars.
We got about halfway through our drinks and realized we forgot to tell you guys about it.
But that means we have a really solid understanding of them
Yeah,
now.
I feel really good about mine.
So the Wizard's Brew is the exclusive beer that you can only get in the Diagon Alley side, so you have to be in Universal Studios. Like the Hog side that I had this morning was what you can only get in Islands of Adventure. So part of my perfect day is having both of those. So it's like a fun little exclusive thing. This one is much darker, as you can see. That's not just the light. It's like as dark as a Guinness. It's heavier, it's bolder, bigger flavors. It's still relatively smooth, but it's definitely not for people who want like a really easy to drink beer. I still really enjoy this one though. Like I like a Guinness. I typically can go through one before I'm like, I am now full and feel like I ate a loaf of bread. Which is kind of how this is, but it's not quite as heavy as a Guinness. So
For mine is the pumpkin juice. I get this almost every time. This is as good to me as Butterbeer, but in a totally different way. I actually did not like this that much because I used to only get it out of the bottles, and then after I had it on tap, I just prefer it that way. It feels like fall in a cup. I say that almost every single time I have it. It just has nice, strong pumpkin-y flavors. There's definitely some probably nutmeg or cinnamon mixed in there. Very soothing, very comforting to me, and it's nice and cold, so that way I can enjoy it year-round, which I really like and prefer. And also at the hopping pot, there are not as many options as at the Hog's Head, so that's why I ended up going with this instead of something else.
all right, the line is down to a posted 45 for Escape from Gringotts, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, that is. This is one of the most popular rides in Universal as well. It is a roller coaster attraction. Now, something to know about this and Hagrid's this morning is that the ride vehicles do not accommodate all body types. So if you're worried about your height or size being accommodated by ride vehicles, then go ahead and use these test vehicles outside of the attractions and speak to a team member to make sure that you'll be able to ride before you wait in a long line just to find out that you can't. This attraction does take you into Gringotts Bank during the events of the 7th Harry Potter book/movie, except a little altered, and it does get wild, but this does have a really interesting queue that I suggest walking through, even if you are not able to or don't want to ride the attraction, because you can see that it's literally in Gringotts, and the goblins are all working away.
I was about to show you plans for more. I was just getting the keys.
Well, I moved them. All you have to do is ask. Accio keys.
We just got
30 minutes
Yes.
for the posted 45.
Not bad at all.
Didn't even have time to finish my beer.
Honestly, I love this ride. Like, this is one of the few rides that genuinely every single time I like laugh and feel myself get crazy excited every time.
So I enjoy it every
Yeah,
time.
you have to
too.
let yourself suspend that reality,
Yes.
that it makes sense.
Suspend the fictional reality.
And once that happens, it's great.
It's fun. All right, as we get to the end here, Diagon Alley has certainly started to clear out a touch. Escape from Gringotts is down to 25 minutes, so a little less than we waited even then. You've got not as many people around, although lots of people looking up because it's not like, oh, goodness. Man, she should stay away from the spicy food. All right, Emma ran to the bathroom, so I'm gonna step into Magical Menagerie to shop around a little more. This is the pet store in Diagon Alley, where not only can you buy lots of plush magical creatures, you can see some not so plush magical creatures, which is why I welcome. Not only can you buy a lot of plush magical creatures, you can see some not so plush magical creatures, aka real ones, like these fellows here. Oh, I like toads. My absolute favorite, although literally there are a lot. I'm not really sure. Oh, like a rat circus. That's wild. But my personal favorite is the Kneasel that's sleeping right here. Super, super cute. I also am a big fan of one that Emma is very much not a big fan of. If you head out this door, and then to the right, there's kind of a sitting area back here, but there's also this beautiful snake. And if you listen close, they are speaking parcel tongue. So when I first came to Diagon Alley when it opened, I thought that this passageway and this passageway were for employees only because they're dark and scary.
That's actually really fair. I was gonna like poke fun at you, but
yeah, turns out they're actually not employees only, and this is how you get to Nocturn Alley, which, if you remember from the Harry Potter books and movies, is kind of that's a gate.
Yeah.
That might be for employees only. If you remember from the books and the movies, this is sort of the like dark wizard sketchy side of Diagon Alley. Harry Potter ends up here a couple of times and it's always a little scary. And there is actually a store back here, which is one of my favorite stores in the Wizarding World, Borgin and Burke's, which is where you can actually shop for some darker items. There's also several spellcasting locations in here, including this one where you can make these shrunken heads sing. Fun fact, they do sing a song from Jaws as a reference to the fact that the Jaws attraction used to be in this area in Universal. There's also maybe the coolest spell, which is this one where you can move your body as a homunculus. Little shopping, little dark arts shopping. Oh, it's a prongs necklace. It'd be cool if they had one for each of the Marauders except Peter Pettigrew.
That's where I want to deepen my lore.
Oh, do you not know a lot about the Marauders?
I know like the fun base things that like
I know an upsetting amount.
I really want to like fan fiction deepen my lore.
You know what? You know what my biggest Harry Potter lore sector is?
What?
Epilogue and the kids. I know everything about every kid that they have.
That's fair.
So you're gonna see a lot of like Death Eater merch in here, Death Eater masks.
It's only $32.
I might literally have to buy this.
Would this not be perfect?
Because
Really just
I mean,
had our
literally,
last
look, I'm wearing a
discussion.
Coco fanny pack, like a dummy.
I need more Universal merchandise. I think we can all agree I don't have enough.
Yeah,
And for $32,
and for $32,
it's too good not to buy. Too
we
cheap not
can't afford not to buy it.
Can get his quote right.
Yeah, that's a Brie Love original. Diagon Alley is pretty empty. It's about 20 minutes to park close, and this is why a perfect day in Harry Potter World is a great idea because you just kind of get to hang out in Harry Potter World until park close.
This is the immersion we need.
I think the last things we're gonna do is maybe step into Madame Malkin's, check out some of the apparel, check into the wand shop, and then get a nice treat to end our day. In fact, one of my favorite theme park treats of all time. So Madame Malkin's is the shop where they do get their school robes in the books and movies, and as you can see, you can get your school robes in here. It is actually where Harry also meets Draco Malfoy for the first time, although it doesn't really he doesn't really interact with him fully until he gets to the school. And there's this mirror.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I don't know if this is a good sign or a bad sign.
All right, headed into Ollivander's. This is a very cool store that gets very, very busy during the day. It's definitely a little lighter here at night now. Actually, a lot lighter. Holy moly, this is when to shop for wands. There's nobody in here. Also, I maybe bought something.
What? Have we been here and not bought something? Just like for ourselves?
No, one of us always buys something.
That tracks.
This shop does have displays of all the wands where you can come and look, and there are plenty of like wand associates who are happy to point out which wands are which characters. But I just think the wands are so cool. My favorite are the prop replicas because they look like they're from the movies, but the interactive ones are pretty neat as well. We are headed here to Florian Fortescue's ice cream parlor. This is the ice cream parlor you'll recognize from the books. Harry does come and get strawberry and peanut butter ice cream. The soft serve, specifically the toffee apple soft serve, is my favorite ice cream I've ever had. It is one of my favorite theme park desserts of all time. I absolutely adore it. But their soft serve isn't the only thing that's good. Their hard pack is good as well. They've got cones. They sometimes have souvenir glasses. They've got these guys. That's you and me.
Besties for the rest.
Besties for the resties.
So I got the Butterbeer soft serve in a cone. This is one of my favorites personally. It's just good and sweet. It's mainly vanilla with that traditional kind of butterscotch butterbeer taste. It's overly sweet, but it's really good, and I think it's very unique. It's not something that you can find in a lot of places.
This is the strawberry and peanut butter hard pack. This is Harry's favorite flavor at Florian Fortescue's in the books, which is why it's kind of a sentimental one. I really love peanut butter flavor, and I think that's actually the main flavor you get here. The strawberry cuts it a little bit, adds a nice fruitiness. Both the hardback and the soft serve are like the highest quality ice cream, I think. I absolutely love this ice cream. I think it is 100% a must-have if you eat ice cream when you're in Wizarding World, and the perfect end of the perfect day.
This is, isn't it?
It is. Do you feel like this was the perfect day in Harry Potter World?
This was the perfect day.
I fully agree. It was magical. Yeah, because wizards.
It almost felt too good to be like true,
Yeah.
you know?
And honestly, we had a lot of downtime today, which was what was so nice. You can certainly do everything you want to do in Harry Potter World in one day, and a perfect day should not be doing everything necessarily.
Agreed.
There's some stuff you want to. Can you hang on?
Does he know we're filming?
There's some stuff you'll want to skip that your family won't want to prioritize, and that's totally fine. We skipped some stuff today. We didn't see Ollivanders. We didn't do any magic of our own because we left our wands at home. But if you do want to see us try to do everything in Harry Potter World in one day, you can check that out on the channel. Has a lot of our best strategies for getting through everything, and that was a pretty busy day too.
It was a busy day.
Yeah.
And it's kind of surprising because these areas do feel smaller compared to like the whole park.
Yeah.
But it can take up your whole day if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
for sure. I mean, we've done many full days here without issue. And I think if you want to dedicate a day to Harry Potter World at Universal, and if you want to do everything in Harry Potter World, if you're a huge Harry Potter fan, you probably need to dedicate about a day.
Agreed.
And get that park hopping ticket so you can ride the Hogwarts Express.
If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe.
Now go watch us do actually everything in Harry Potter World in one day. See you there.